Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is, of course, Marbari AG, also known as Reece. I'm joined here today by Harry. How you been, mate?
Hello.
How you been?
I've not been too bad. You?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. It's been a long 2 weeks. A lot has happened
It really
newsworthy.
has. No, I mean, for the 2 week period though, there's been very little news in terms of like what we have had before.
Oh yeah, well, like, as
In
in,
with
yeah.
like the entire thing, like with gaming and also just any game sort of like reference news. There
I
hasn't been
don't
any really.
know. I'll talk more about that later, but um, yeah. Talking of which, how you been, Sam?
Uh, yeah, I'm just gonna leave that at that.
Oh, it's been one of
I hate
those.
life. It's just been one of those weeks. I
Yeah,
give up.
it's
Should
not
have
been
gave up
great.
ages ago. I feel
But
like I have given up.
start some good news. We have some announcements to make. As Anarky Gaming is growing, we will we have we've got we will be streaming a lot more on Twitch. So
Hmm.
if you'd like to come and join us on the stream and interact with us, be great.
Come
I,
talk to us.
it, it will be either myself or Harry that'll be streaming. Is either
Well, for
be
the most
Gamer
part.
12
You can
or
still follow
Deranged
my account on
Dragon.
Twitch.
I mean, other
But
people will
yes,
probably stream, but we'll probably be the main two.
Yeah,
yeah,
I stream other
then
things then. Dead by Daylight, so
yeah, no,
Well,
they'll be
we're not
streaming
just
loads of
talking about that though.
yeah,
yeah, I know.
we'll be streaming loads of different stuff like Dead by Daylight, Apex, and other cool games like that. Maybe I'll have something cool in the future if I want to do solo stream. But yeah,
I
past
will
that,
face you guys on more combat.
oh, don't. Last time he went. That's enough of that. We'll go on to our first topic, which is Dead by Daylight related. Harry, can you take it away?
Yes. Yes, with my current obsession with the
The
game,
sound
I
of a
can
condom
easily do
packet.
this. Uh, so the biggest thing to mention right now is that it's quite unfortunate that we got this week to do the podcast and not next week, because the
Yeah.
reveal for the next chapter is this Tuesday. Which,
Ah,
I mean,
that
if you
that
guys
hurts.
want, you can join me and Tyler and avoid everything, and then Tuesday night we'll just kind of watch, probably message in group chat, because I
Yeah,
will have just come
that
from work, so it'll be like 9ish, half 9, 10, half 10 when I actually get around to watching it. So we'll probably just message in group chat. I'll be like, all right, guys, gonna start watching it. But I mean, I'm actually really excited to see what we're getting, the sort of stuff they're
honestly,
gonna bring in, and how the perks are gonna synergize with the current game state.
yeah,
Because there are a
especially
few issues that could probably be fixed at the moment.
okay,
Just as a little thing, you know. I
um,
know I've been watching a Q&A with the
right,
devs, which happened last week, I believe.
okay. What happened to it
Yeah, it
then?
was about a week ago. They were just answering questions asked on a forum, and one of the big ones was
Okay,
what are you like? Is there any chance that you're going to be fixing hitboxes slash hits through Windows? And they have said that they
please,
are going to be
yes.
cross-referencing to see if the hit was a fair hit or an unfair hit. Unfair hits won't
Right.
count when this is implemented. So, were you actually in range of getting that? Like, was it because, on your end that they were there, but on everybody else's they weren't?
Yeah.
You know, did that shot from Deathslinger actually connect? Did that hatchet actually hit? Was that lunge actually fair? Should they have hit something else rather than you?
Of
And they
course,
did
yeah.
say they're definitely looking at fixing that.
This
And
is
for the more
where, as
like
this
PC
update hits, Harry
oriented.
becomes like a lower rank.
Well, no, because I tend to get hit at windows and round the walls anyways, when I shouldn't.
Yeah, no,
Because the killer is actually on their end right up my ass, but on my end they're still behind the wall, and I get
well,
hit round a 180-degree wall. So I've gone 180 around the wall, and then I get down, and they're suddenly behind me when they weren't.
yeah, no,
Logic.
it's kind of
And
bullshit in that way.
yeah, and with the fixes on hitboxes, that should make dedicated a bit more serviceable for players in terms of the amount of times that people might life, sprint burst, dead hard or whatever, and then they still get hit, and the exhaustion's happened.
Yeah.
Because each one of those perks has a small iframe as you start to sprint. Dead hard is just a literal iframe. That is what Dead Hard is. It's just an invincibility frame that you cannot be hit from that little lunge forward that you do. And with life, the second your feet touch the ground, you see the exhausted appear, you get the haste notification appear on the side of the screen. You should be able to sprint away, but if there was a hit that connected before the window, life shouldn't have activated, and if life activates, you should have a small iframe to get your sprint going. It's similar with Sprint Burst. Sprint Burst has a small iframe at the beginning as soon as you start sprinting, and same with Balance Landing. The second you hit the floor, you get that iframe before you start sprinting.
Okay.
But I mean, there are other balance things that I reckon could be looked at.
Like what, for example?
One of the big ones is Mori's.
Yes.
I get that killers need that sort of leverage, right? This game is super survivor favored. Yes, they have fixed some of the maps to make it more balanced. They've taken out almost every single infinite loop possible. The ones that involve main buildings anyway. So on maps like Coldwind Farm, there was the farmhouse, which had 2 windows, which made an infinite, because on either side of the building, there would have been at least 1 pallet spawn. So you go window to window to pallet to window to window to pallet, and it's an infinite. The killer cannot physically catch up to you. And they have fixed most of these. There are still pallet loops, which are infinites unless they break the pallet. But that's just a matter of the killer needs to break the pallet and needs to understand that's an infinite, or understand that certain loops are non-mind gameable. That's down to the killer, not the actual problem with the game or the map.
No, exactly.
But Mori's something that the killer needs to have leverage on the survivors with.
I am learning new things every word.
But with Mori's, I don't think it's fair that killers can one-hook tunnel to get kills.
Right. Okay, yeah.
I get the balancing issue needed with Mori's. They aren't like super common on Bloodwebs. But when a killer does bring one, you can guarantee after they've got the hook on someone that if they're not killer that has more experience, so I'd say, because I've even seen this in green ranks and below mainly do this. Not all green ranks, but definitely yellows and browns will do this. Once they've got a Mori, they will hook survivor, and then they'll tunnel them, and then Mori them. And then if it's ivory, that's that done. They probably then will just camp hooks to ensure other kills. But if it's an ebony, then they hook, tunnel, kill, hook, tunnel, kill, hook, tunnel, kill, as much as they can. The only Mori that I say is perfectly fine and shouldn't be touched is the Cypress Memento Mori, because it's literally the last person left in the game. So if there are still if there's still somebody sitting by an exit gate, you cannot use that Mori. Which means you either have to make that person leave, hook them, or hook the person that you've got down that you wanted to Mori. Because if there's still somebody else in that game, you cannot use it. It is the weakest of the Moris, and it is less advantageous for the killer. It still puts fear into survivors when they see that secret, and it's just like, oh, that could be Ebony Mori, which means that they're just gonna one-hook tunnel people, or that they're gonna, like, the way I feel Moris should work is depending on like the rarity and everything. So an Ivory Mori should have less of a cost than an Ebony, for sure. But I still feel like there should be some sort of extra penalty rather than being able to one-hook tunnel. Because normally you need 3 hooks to kill someone, not 1. So if you can get 1 hook and kill someone instantly, that's 1 person out the game before gen's done. That's a 3v1. You might as well have had that person DC.
It's true. Right, when we were playing Dead by Daylight the other day, it kind of felt because I'm usually the one getting
Dead by
fucking
Daylight.
worried. Oh, shut up. But I'm usually the one to usually get hooked first and usually find the killer for some reason.
Oh
But
yeah,
still,
but I mean, if it's something like an Ivory Mori, I'd say maybe 4 hooks before you can use it, and then it's still only got that one limit on it. And then
okay.
for an Ebony, 6 to 8, I'd say, like depending on how balanced you want to be. Like, I don't want it to be too unbalanced where you have to hook every survivor twice to
Yeah,
get it. But it does then also open up that opportunity of like 3 hook one survivor, 3 hook another survivor, 1 hook the other two, and then just Morium, which is still 1 hooks. But I don't want it to be like you have to 2 hook everyone either. So I'd say 6 would be a good balance for it because you have to at least hook everyone once or have 2 people out the game, which then means you're not getting the full effect of the Ebony Mori anyways, because it just allows you
exactly.
to kill all 4. And there should also be the other kind of, I guess you could say, rule or like requirement to meet, which is to be able to kill that survivor, they must have been hooked at least once. So
Yeah,
if you bring in an Ivory Mori and you 3 hook somebody, 1 hook another guy, and then go for somebody else, you can't then kill that person with your Mori. You then have to still hook them to get it, but
right.
you have to have a certain amount of hooks first before it activates. Because it's not always about balancing, sometimes it's about enjoyment. And if you're getting 1 hook tunneled by a killer with a Mori, it's just not fun. Even if
Yeah,
you're a 4-man with comms, like it's just not enjoyable to get 1 hook Mori'd
no, it's not.
because you know that they're going to be sitting close enough that they can find you again, but not close enough that they're going to stop the unhook. So with that, I would just say just try to balance how they function, and it's the same with like Survivor stuff as well. Like I don't know if you guys ever saw the old brand new parts, but if you
No,
brought a brand new
I would
part,
still.
um, I guess you could still say in the early days of the game, a brand new
Yeah,
part wasn't too difficult skill checks. It was just an instant gen rare.
you're fucking joking. That's
No.
OP as hell.
Yeah, and it caused. But there's actually a clip I saw a while back, which was somebody brought a brand new part, Solo Queue Survivor, and all you heard was 3 gens pop instantly, and then the killer just left. 3 gens in about 5
Mate.
seconds.
Yeah, honestly.
Because all you had to do was touch it.
Yeah.
And it was fixed. Perfectly functioning. It would eliminate, like, I like how they fixed that, and I also like how they fixed insta heals as well. So you've got the skill checks and then the insta heal timer now before you get healed. It's I'm trying to think of other. It's like second wind in a strength. You can't just heal instantly. It takes a bit of time.
Borderlands.
So
What? Okay.
when you look at how
Borderlands.
that's balanced, why isn't the killers offerings or add-ons and stuff balanced to such as well? I get that it's a 4v1, so the killer does need that advantage, but they've got movement speed, they've got special abilities,
Okay, yeah.
and each killer has their own, like, I guess you could say, like, play style. So when it comes down to Freddy and Doctor, you don't have to worry too much about being looped because you have good anti-loop on your
Of
kit.
course, yeah. Yeah.
But if you're playing somebody like trying to think, maybe Wraith.
Right,
Wraith
yeah.
needs those surprise hits to be good.
Yeah.
So if you don't get that uncloak hit and then you start getting looped, Wraith has no way to counter that loop other than keep running the loop until the pallets drop and then break the pallet. Because Wraith can't mind game it. He's a tool killer, he's easy to spot, and if he goes invisible, he's then got to uncloak again before he can hit.
But this is the one thing I was. I with Wraith specifically, the problem with that is yes, he goes invisible, but there's still a little bit of outline towards him. So if people were perceptive enough, they could see him.
Exactly.
That's the
That's what, like, so Wraith needs that kind of, like, when you get a Wraith with a Mori, I fully expect that. You know, Wraith running nowhere.
Yeah.
I fully expect that, right?
Of course, yeah.
Wraith has got really good potential in the right hands and with the
Yeah.
right add-ons. But if you play with no offering, no perks, no add-ons, Wraith is one of
Yeah.
the weakest killers in the game. Because even other, like, killers that have good movement speed and everything else, like Trapper, he's got his traps.
Yeah,
You're
Hack
going
has
to
her
go
traps,
into more
and
detail
she's
for me
slower.
later, because I'm a Wraith main.
Wraith is probably the best killer to start off with, though. I will say that.
Oh yeah, by a mile.
You have to learn so many basic fundamentals of being a killer to successfully play with Wraith.
Agreed.
And alongside that, you can then also look at other killers and what you could do to kind of help them be better, or
If
how
I
to,
had
like, kind of
Ghost
take a
Chase,
little
I'd
bit
play
of
as
power
Ghost
away
Chase.
from them. Because when you look at someone like Billy, his add-ons are good, his ability's good, his pick rate's good, his kill rate's good. Like, statistically speaking, he has the second highest kill rate and is the second most picked. To me, that says that I don't mind the kill rate on Billy, but if he's getting played that much, then you might want to look at it. Like, if he's getting played that much and getting that many kills, on average, Billy is getting a regular 3k.
You're joking.
On
That's
average, he's getting
madness.
3 kills. It's the same as Spirit, and I
Spirit.
believe
Spirit.
oh God, I can't remember who the other one was. Freddy. They're all getting 3 kills regularly per match. On average, they will get 3 kills.
But to be fair,
I
because
usually get like 3 kills.
yeah, but like when it comes to Freddy, I think it was this year that he had his rework, if I remember correctly.
Last year.
Last year. Oh god, time goes by. But still, he was pretty
quarantine and all,
much.
so.
No, don't tell me about it. But still,
Freddy was the weakest killer in the game before his rework.
yeah, he was massively.
And
That's
now
the whole
he's
point.
one of the. Yeah, but
The
he's also,
best.
like, he might have the highest kill rate, but he's only the 3rd most picked, and
All right.
I don't think he needs to be nerfed, except for maybe some of his add-ons might need to be tweaked a little, because he does have a lot of counters. You know, he's only really powerful when you're in the dream state. So, you know, you can wake yourself up from that.
Oh,
Sure,
yeah,
if he hits you, you go back into dream state, but, like, you can still wake yourself up. A Freddy with no add-ons, or perks or anything, is still a good killer because he's got a good kit, and a good, like, killer will understand where to put snares to stop looping, to help get hits. But without the add-ons, you just fail a skill check, wake up. Somebody can come near you, click their fingers a few times, you wake up. You can find your little clock, wake yourself up. And so Freddy's got a good counter in that because he's only really powerful in the dream state. If the survivors are constantly waking themselves up and are not getting hit by him, Freddy's power is pointless. The only other thing he can do, which doesn't require people to be in dream state, is he can teleport to gens, which adds a lot of gen pressure.
Yeah, there's been so many jump scares due to that. All of a sudden, I'll be running through this place, and suddenly there's Freddy popping up from a generator, like psych, bitch. But
yeah,
the rework definitely helped him with both pick rate and.
Yeah, I mean, Nurse got her rework because she was way too strong. Like, if you had the right add-ons, Nurse could, like, blink 3 times essentially. Like, use her blink power. Like, even if you double blink it, then it would probably be 2, but like 3 blinks, full charge, and you can probably get across Mother's Dwelling, which is the biggest map, with the right add-ons.
Of course.
But I mean, other than, like, fixing a few add-ons and maybe having a look at pick rate to kill rates on killers, the only other thing that you could really balance is the timings that Survivor have to do things. Because 1 gen, hitting good skill checks, or well, even without skill checks, I guess you could say. So 1 gen with no skill checks is 80 seconds if it's 1 survivor working on it. So if you have all 4 survivors not in a chase at the beginning, and they don't get found by the killer at all, That's 4 gems that just pop in 80 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not unbalanced because obviously the killers can move around the maps quickly and stop that. Some of the weaker killers do struggle with it, like Hag. Hag relies on her traps to be activated for her to travel across the map quickly.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see what's gonna happen with the new chapter because we're gonna get new perks, new killer, new survivor. You know, we might get, we might get new survivor add-ons for like toolboxes, torches, and stuff. We might get new add-ons for that. We might even get new items in general. But we'll have to wait and see what that brings. I will definitely be talking about this on the next podcast. I will be talking about
what your thoughts are and
my thoughts on it, because I would highly recommend looking at a streamer True Talent, because I can guarantee you he will be playing the PTB, which is the public test build, or the test servers essentially, and he will be he's really analytical on things, so he will explain killer strengths, weaknesses, his own thoughts and opinions on the killer, and his idea of how they're meant to be played.
And of course, after you watched a True stream, I've come to our streams. We're much better. It's fine. I'm not joking.
Yeah, we don't have PC streams. We can't show the PTB. But next week, I will. Well, not next week. Next podcast. Sorry, we'll 100% be talking about the new chapter.
Yeah, of
and
course.
What we're going to be getting, and my thoughts on the new perks, the new killer.
And of course, last week we did talk about like who we wanted to see in Dead by Daylight.
Actually,
even if it's
on
stupid
that,
suggestions.
real quick,
yeah,
somebody we all know, Nathan, said that it might be Silent Hill because of the way the 4 is shaped on their 4th anniversary. He thinks it might be Pyramid Head, but again, all speculation. We'll find out Tuesday.
Right.
So,
first of all, one comment on that. That sounds brilliant. Not gonna lie.
Yep. But I mean, that's about all I really have to say. So.
And then you see me, I have 0 viable characters. I'm poor.
Like I said, we've covered a lot of stuff, especially like fixing DBD, and the servers need to please be fixed because that has got to be one of the most annoying things in that game. But it is a really good game. We are looking forward to see it. Sam, you haven't played much of Dead by Daylight sort of thing. But are you looking forward to the new season, especially if it's something like a new killer that you've probably known about?
Yeah, it would actually be quite decent, especially if I could get it.
Yeah,
that's
be skinned by the end of next month.
One of the it's gonna be one of the downsides of like, oh look, there's a new killer. I can't wait to play him. Oh fuck, I can't play him. Shit. Shame it's not like Apex because this is chapter, not season.
Yeah. But leading on, we will start talking about Apex.
Beautiful season 5 with Loba and her thick ass.
Loba is definitely very thick. That ass could be mine any day. But I'll go through the few things. We'll go through point at a time. So since it is a new season,
there was a Kings Canyon update, which
Kings Canyon update
is no longer.
Oh yes, if you didn't see it already, we had to say goodbye to our precious third-party town. Goodbye. But of course, in replace of that, we've got loads of different areas alongside of it. Harry, you played a few games with me.
Yeah.
What do you think of the changes? Because you're not a big fan of Apex, but still,
it's not that I'm not a big fan of it. It's just
not his sort of cup of tea.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's mechanical skill, which is one of the reasons that I am better at Dead by Daylight than I am at shooters, and why I suck with Deathslinger, because it's mechanical skill. It requires you to be able to be fine-tuned with your aim. You need to be reactionary. Reactionary's fine, but when it comes down to being able to fine-tune your aim perfectly onto every single little movement that they're doing, compared to a game like Dead by Daylight, where it's just a mental game of, I'm going to go not that way, but this way. And then they're going, oh, you didn't go that way, I'm going to have to go back now. And then you just keep doing that until one of you gives up. Or
of course, yeah.
But
if we...
it's not about not liking Apex. It's just one of those games that requires a lot of mechanical skill, which is something I lack.
All right, but I'm curious about what's your thoughts on the new map changes? Do you think
I don't really remember Kings Canyon.
Fair enough. I keep forgetting you were.
How could you not know King's Canyon?
Alright,
He was.
I played when it first came out, didn't enjoy it because
You
I was
played
like,
Season
it's not
4.
like Titanfall 2. It's not like Titanfall 2. I'm really upset. Because at the time we were all playing Titanfall 2 a lot, and
Yeah.
then I played a little bit of Season 2. I didn't touch Season 1, but Season 0 I definitely played a bit of. Season
Yeah.
1 I may have touched for one game. Season 2 I played a bit of. I remember that
Yep.
because we had the dinosaurs stamping around.
You still
Space
have them.
Cows.
Season 3 didn't touch. Season 4 was probably my most played because we were trying to get more people to play with us and trying to be more supportive of members of the group.
Yeah, of course. But since you couldn't remember that, I remember it. But we've been through a couple of places when we were all playing
I
together.
think we dropped everywhere.
Yeah, Bunker
Okay.
especially.
You at
Bunker-
least remember World's Edge. How about that one?
Oh, kind of, a little bit.
Yeah, but still, it will. For me personally, I've enjoyed the changes because it's nice. It's a lot of difference between
The game's also smoother
that-
itself.
Oh yeah, massively smoother. I've
Mm,
definitely noticed that.
Don't know. I wouldn't know.
But
I mean, I don't
Especially-
get hit when falling through a window, so.
oh yes, I completely forgot about this. Hit Ridge was a problem at the beginning of the season, of course. So if you didn't know about that, you do now.
Oh, so that's why when we first played Reece, I was getting all those kills because hit reg was a problem.
Yeah.
Got you.
And then you see me, I get kills anyway because I'm a sweaty levels.
Mm,
But still,
yeah, but it could say the same for me in Dead by Daylight, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. It's just me and
Yeah.
you. It's your fault I got into where I am now.
Oh,
Alright,
here we go.
blame
This is
me.
the brothers fight.
Yeah, I'm blaming
All
you.
right, blame me.
But-
All right, blame
but
me.
still-
Yeah, it's your fault.
But still, it's a new season.
It's all right. I don't own Loba, but she seems like
Yeah.
somebody that could be really useful, especially at higher tier
She
players.
can't see blue items or common items in chests or anything.
Yeah,
She can only see purple
rare
or
or
higher.
legendary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's not bad though, because then you're
No,
not
but not
like
mine.
I mean, think about it. If you could see everything, think about how much would be on your screen at one point.
Yeah, he's
Your
not
game
wrong.
would be so bad. It's
It's like just quickly going back to Dead by Daylight, like you got all these all reading perks, and then if you throw a map on as well, there would be
Yeah.
so much on your screen.
It's too much information to properly
Yeah,
process
perceive
So
that.
that.
only see.
Yeah.
It also means that like let's say you've got blue gear, like across the board. Blue sight, blue barrel, blue stock, blue ammo.
blue extended.
Blue
yeah.
armor, blue helmet, and everything. That means if you don't see anything in that, there's no point in opening it, unless
Yeah.
you're looking for ammo.
Then
Yeah.
But then you
open
can
it.
also go, let's say you've got a piece of gold body armor already, right? And then you see a loot box that has gold body armor. Rather than just opening it straight away, you can just be like, guys, there's a gold in that.
Exactly.
And then
It-
loot the other area and then go back to that.
Yeah,
or-
Well, no, it means let's say you're kitted out, you don't have to worry about potentially getting yourself injured in a gunfight if they're going for that
So
loot
you
box,
could give
because
that
you
to
can
your
be the
teammate.
lookout, and you can tell them that it's in there, and they should go get it because you're kitted out. You can watch their back. You can cover them. Again, mechanical skill, not my thing. Mentality.
yeah,
is.
of course. But still, I've played with Loba, and Sam's played with Loba, but I think we'll both agree that
I
not
got
only
her when
does
she
she
first
have
came out,
a
so.
brilliant ass, but
Her abilities are okay as well.
yeah, her ability, which is to teleport, if you did not know, can go through small gaps. It's just basically
What's her
throwing this
passive?
bracelet.
Huh?
to look through walls to see loot.
Oh,
As
yeah,
we explained.
that's not okay. Oh yeah, I should have registered. That was the passive. My bad.
No worries. I
Her
should
alt
explain
is
it, to be
black
fair.
market, which is her staff. You can choose
Yes.
2 items in the surrounding area of her black market.
And that can actually be good for actually because I was looking at some of
Quick
the
looting.
pro league sort of thing, especially when you're in the firefight. If you suddenly lose your shield, basically, you can pop it down, realize that there's, I don't know, a blue or purple shield nearby that they haven't
And
looted.
just pick it up.
Grab that exactly. It's
And then
especially
continue.
Lobas actually be really useful in both casually and in the pro league sectors of this game. But there's a lot more changes to the season 5 definitely because this is only like 2%.
As always, you got the new battle pass with new
Oh,
skins and all.
yeah, I personally I thought at first it wasn't going to be as good, but I've looked at
I think Rich's controller just disconnected. So, I mean,
It's usually great timing.
yeah.
sorry about that.
No, there we go. He's back.
So like I said, there's a few more things. We've got we didn't discuss in what are going around Kings Canyon was these new charge towers, which is able to instantly give you your
Level up your
ultimate.
shield and also give you your
Nope.
ultimate. If you have Loba, I think you
No,
can.
that's wrong.
No.
No,
And then
it's
how
just ultimates.
how does that happen to me once? I think that might have been a fucking bug. Shit.
That was a bug, mate. Sorry to say this. The charge towers are just there for your ultimate.
Can you imagine like going to a charge tower just with like
Yeah,
an Evo shield and it just like boom red?
basically. If that was the case, mate. the
These
charge
are
Everybody
shades
would be
equal
playing with
OP.
reds.
Yeah, but charge towers are useful, especially for if you're using what Gibraltar's ultimate is quite useful for that sort of stuff.
To Bangalore.
Yeah,
Ray.
even no, not
Lifeline.
Wraith, definitely not Wraith. Lifelines.
Lifeline
ultimate-wise-
is for her ult. It's good to have those charge towers, especially if you like. Let's say you're
As-
looting and you notice a charge tower, and then
As-
you find
yeah.
ultimate accelerants. That could be 2 instant care package drops.
But you got to think about this. If that is used, you won't want to use it in a fight. So if you had something like Lobas or like I said, Gibraltar's and all that sort of stuff, yeah, that's great in a fight versus Lifelines, which is all right. There's a charge tower here. There's no enemies about. Let's fucking use this. We get something down here. Brilliant. Though I could also see the reasoning behind it if you said we could use it as a shield if we're in a large open area. The Lifeline package. The one thing I will say, there has been discussion around talking of Lifeline about a upgrade. The developers have said that they're not looking at an upgrade, more like a side grade, because they've looked at statistics. She is the top of the one of the top legends for kills and winnings, and the most played. So we are looking.
So maybe a nerf rather than buffing her in any sense or giving her anything else. Maybe like look at why she's winning so much. I mean, sure, it comes down to mechanical skill, but when you think about it, if like Lifeline's got a health drone, you back off, you start healing in the middle of a gunfight, you start restoring shields at the same time. They've got to push on you. And by the time they push on you, your shields are fully recharged. You're back at about half health. They haven't had a chance to recharge or anything yet. So, you know, maybe fix the health drone a bit so that if you are regaining health from the health drone, you cannot restore your shields.
Yeah.
Or it cancels out the health drone whilst you restore your shields.
But that's the whole point. What made this discussion come about was basically now, because we'll talk more about later how Mirage basically had a rework recently, and I'll talk about more about that later.
Mirage got a rework. Pathfinder got a no.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later, of course. Like I said, what sparked the discussion was that they felt like they lost their uniqueness with Lifeline. Because of the Mirage update. So what I was, what I want to know your feeling on your on this, Sam. So what do you feel about this? If they give her a buff or even a nerf, as Harry was just
I
saying.
wouldn't really mind either way, because quite a lot of the time I'm not playing with people who play Lifeline, and when I do, they usually end up dying and then leaving
Yeah.
the game.
Okay.
So
So
I haven't really ever touched Lifeline. I've touched her like a few times, like once or twice, but that's pretty much it. I
oh
It would be
yeah.
kind of shit to see her go down, but as any character like
Yeah, I
Pathfinder.
mean, based off of what you're saying, that means that when you look at a game like Siege, Ash shouldn't have lost her ACOG, Maestro shouldn't have lost his ACOG, Twitch's drone should
Nope.
still have 15 tasers,
Yep.
because, well, nice, because it needs to be balanced. You can't have somebody performing well, getting regular kills, regular wins. Like, you weren't about for it, but when Ella was first released, she had almost a 100% pick rate in Pro League, almost a 100% round win in Pro League. Ella
Jesus.
was broken. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost the same story with Lion. If you brought a Lion when Lion was released, win.
Yes.
That was a win on the round. You tap RB, you run in, and if they move, they die. If they don't move, they die.
But that's the whole thing, was that back then
So, just
it
real
was so
quick,
broken. Yeah, of course.
when you're looking at a game that requires mechanical skill, if somebody is outperforming others, maybe you need to have a look at why they're being out, like why they're outperforming. Yes, it might
Yep.
just be mechanical skill of the players, but there might also be underlying issues. Like maybe there's something that we could do with Lifeline, which makes her less proficient in gunfights.
Yeah. Like, either
Yeah,
way,
I
it's
understand
Because
that.
she's meant to be support. She's meant to be that sort of support role. She
yeah.
drops care packages. She heals her friends, right? And then when she's doing a res, she has the shield. So if she's able to outperform people like Wraith, Bangalore in a gunfight, that shouldn't be happening.
No, it
Because
shouldn't.
they're meant for attack.
Yeah.
So
Well, they're different classes inside of it, whether it be
because
Lifeline being.
this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the problem with first-person shooters. It was a similar story in COD as well. The new Modern Warfare is the M4. It was good, so they and everyone was using it, and it took ages to get nerfed. MP5. I still don't think that's actually been nerfed.
No.
MP7.
Yeah, MP7's been the new one apparently. I haven't been paying too much
You know,
attention.
it's yeah, but I mean, the thing about the MP5 is what you'd have to do is you'd have to take the 10 mil auto rounds and tone down the damage a little bit and maybe knock off a little bit of range if you put them on.
Of course,
Because trust me, I run it. If you run super aggressive, I'm talking like collapsible stock, ADS speed, no sight, so you don't really need to worry about that. ADS speed on the foregrip, 10 mil auto rounds, FMJ, and then a foregrip which helps control your accuracy. You aim instantly, and you kill in about 4 shots at most ranges.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you've got the mechanical skill for it, the MP5 just shreds. It will outplay any
course, yeah.
gun at close quarters with 10
Yeah.
auto round.
That was the problem with that game. It's just overpowered the weapon itself. But
It's not the
moving
weapons,
back-
it's the attachments. But
Yeah.
you know, like that's
still,
something. You know,
as
it's about balance, and
yeah.
if you've got somebody that is higher picked, higher wins, higher kills, they need an F. I'm sorry, but it's just how balancing works.
yeah,
What
it
I
should be,
found
definitely.
is really funny is every time Reece tries to speak, everybody just chips in before he does, and then he goes quiet. It's great. I had to say that.
No. It's all right, honestly. But
That's because of we've
See?
discussed this before. No, it's because we've discussed this before. If somebody's trying to make a point on the point that you're still
Yeah.
talking about, and you're trying to move away from that point, let them finish before you move on.
yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah, we will do. That's the point of the podcast. But moving backwards, like I said, personally for me, Lifeline, well, if we're going to be completely honest, I think season 5 at the moment has been the most balanced since the first original release for me personally. So I haven't had any complaints with that one. I just there's the controversy around Lifeline itself. Personally, I think it's bullshit because in a way she is very powerful. But moving on, we talked about earlier about how we're going to talk about Mirage has had
Oh,
a buff.
and his buffs.
Oh,
He
he
can
was right.
control his decoys now.
Yes, but before he was before season 5, he was one of the worst legends you could play in the game. It was so predictable to see which was a Mirage clone and which was the real one. But in this one, it's a lot more human. You can control it, so there's always that unpredictability that comes with looking at saying, "Oh, is it the real thing?" And if it is, then if you shoot it, it reveals your location. Um, that's one of, but that's only just the tip of the iceberg on that one. Um, we also, when it's reviving, we can see that, well, he can go invisible. So it's just madness to me that yes, that's where the discussion came from because of
There's
what
a
Lifelink
there's
can
a
do.
bug with if you have the cyberpunk skin for Watson and if you're resin her
Okay.
because you can see her legs and like practically almost every pink part on her body.
Well, I didn't realize that. To be fair, that that seems a bit shit, innit? Um, but yeah, there's been the Mirage definitely has a massive upgrade. I'm curious about your thoughts on it, Sam, because have you played him at all since it's buff?
No, I don't have Mirage yet. I have
I'm
Revenant,
pretty sure you're level
Loba,
100, aren't you?
90 something.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. But you surely don't have like the credits enough to buy him. I would have thought.
No, I have like 7,000 right now. I'm working my way to getting him because of his buff and all.
What happened?
But
Because you get 200 per thing.
not all the time.
Nevertheless, Mirage has definitely been big because of the change. It's been
His
definitely
pick rate's
better,
been higher.
higher massively, and that he's become more a viable option for higher rank plays.
Yeah.
But there's I personally I've played around with him, and he just seems like a better character than he actually was. Thank God. Of course, there's other stuff. The one thing I actually really want to talk to you about, because I'm a big fan of lore itself, that there's a whole new thing came to Apex, which is called the quest system, and for this
Oh, the
season, it's the
story
broken
mode.
Yes,
Okay.
broken
Where you have to
ghost, as
find
they
all
call it.
the pieces for the
Yes. So if you didn't know
vault, I
about
think it
this,
is.
yeah. Well, we don't know
Loba
what building.
Loba's basically taken you through a basically like a campaign in season 5. The it just
Hold on.
yeah,
I'll stop you right there just to explain a bit better.
okay.
I can see you struggling right there.
I can't explain things, alright, don't judge.
So no, that's fine, mate. That's absolutely fine. So what's happening is that since Lob has been added, we've kind of got this mystery behind it, where we've been hired as the legends to help her build this mysterious device on a different dimension. If you like the lore, it's definitely for you. It's just
Oh
it's
yeah.
Yeah.
With the story, the playable missions that you can do in it, you can
Yeah.
get a team. So, like in a lobby, if you're playing with friends, and then you can all do that mission at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's not just like you playing by yourself.
No, it's a 1 to 3 player
Experience.
Yeah. It's a PvE, of course. We've got the prowlers that we saw in the Bloodhound event, town takeover in Wells Edge. But they've been updated to where they're a much more of a threat than they were in that.
They deal more damage than they have done, and they have less health though, which is a plus side of it.
Yeah, of course, but it's still it's mainly there for the story aspect of it. So if you're a big fan of the lore, then yeah, go check that out. You would need like five, I think it's 5 treasure packs that you have to get once per day. So
Yeah,
you
one
do
per
have to
day.
come in. You do have to come in once every once a day.
Every
Just
day. Yeah,
yeah,
you have there. You can also try and get the what's it? Yes, the what's it? Oh yeah, as I said, treasure packs to be able to
yeah,
get the rewards for it,
of course, yeah,
and it just levels you up so you can actually progress in the story. Because some parts of the story you actually need the treasure boxes for loot boxes
yeah.
to be able
It
to open them.
yeah, just see what they're like, especially. You do actually get rewards for each day you pick them up, which is good. So if you're a
Yep,
big fan of
you
that,
can have XP, crafting metals, Apex
even
packs.
weapon skins, I've
Yes.
noticed. I was a bit
You
surprised about that.
by the end of the season or like when the story is finished, you get a flatline skin, a purple
Yeah,
flatline skin with a predator. It's called the predator skin,
yeah,
and it has a fossil skull on it with fire, I think. It's a purple skin, and you also get a legendary charm with it,
cool.
which
Yeah.
you won't be able to see the legendary charm, which you can see the skin, but not the charm.
So yeah, I think we both agree that we really have enjoyed what the Broken
Season
Ghost
5,
quests.
yes.
No,
What
no, no.
season
Just
like season
there's a
5
few more
story
things.
itself.
Yeah,
It's like what it's given to us. It's quite enjoyable.
yeah. It's enjoyable to play, basically. So
Better
well,
experience for newcomers as well.
I'll pick this up. There's a few more things that have come season 5. There's the multiple updates to characters. So Bloodhound has had a buff. We'll go through this quite quickly. Um,
Oh, I don't know about this, but okay then.
oh, did you not know? So
No.
what Bloodhound was they had the buff was that you know how you could activate his ability for 35 seconds and then
Yes.
you could do it again. It's now been decreased to 25 seconds from season 4 to season 5. So that's why you can do a lot more. And it's when you scan a person and it appears on your screen for 4 seconds instead of 3.
It's a
Um,
minor detail, but it helps a lot when you think about it when you push in and just
of
need
course.
intel.
Yeah. There's been several updates to Octane. If you're a big fan of playing with him, the only difference was made was that his jump pads are changed from 90 to 60 seconds now. Um,
Ah, so it's just like a minute,
yeah, but
really.
the biggest buff, apart from um, uh, a couple of other things, was that caustic a gas. If you got stuck with inside of it, then
Deals more
uh,
damage.
oh yeah, it deals a little bit more damage. Plus, your teammates can walk through it without being slowed down.
Yeah,
So
which
that's
is
a
a
good
big
thing.
plus because if
Yeah.
you were to walk through it while there was enemies trying to get away, you could literally just walk through it and then shoot them. Or when it was back in season 4, you got slowed down to how the enemies were.
Yeah.
So you were exactly the same speed. They would have got out, been able to see, and then you would have gotten shot.
Um. Of course, there has been a couple of other updates for the other characters in the game. Pathfinder's RIP
Got
Pathfinder
nerfed.
mains from
Yeah,
15 seconds for his grapple to
to
season 5's
35?
35. Yep.
35 seconds for his grapple to recharge, which is a pain in the ass when, like, you just quickly need to get away and you've already used it.
Well, there has been yeah, it's not been great for Pathfinder mains at all. But looking at it now, I think there's been a couple of other updates to the game itself, such as like the Mastiff has been
Oh, the
added as a main
Peacekeeper and the
weapon.
Mastiff got swapped
Yes.
around. I still feel like the Mastiff is still OP. Like, it
Of
still
course.
overpowers the Peacekeeper.
So
Like, in some
yeah,
aspects it does.
okay, but
Some
still,
aspects it doesn't. So,
I was I think to end this segment, I think we have definitely really enjoyed what season 5 has to offer for us personally, from all the different angles, from the new character,
from the
from the
buffs
new
to the
characters.
nerfs,
Yeah,
from the new maps to the new characters, it's just all been decent.
yeah, it
They
has
have
been definitely been very
they've
good.
released like skipped like a whole staircase from where season 4 was. Instead of just taking that one step forwards, it's like a whole fucking staircase.
Yeah, it's been really nice to see that, especially since the quarantine has been going on. Um, that it's nice to see that they're on top of work and giving us the best they possibly can. So I'm just so is there? It's just been nice to see all that. So, is there any closing thoughts you want on this subject, Sam?
Uh, not exactly. Like the ranking system's still the same, so standard. Nothing that much has changed with the way the game is itself.
Okay,
It's just more map and character based, really.
okay, cool. So, our final topic of today, which is basically talking about because recently on the Summer Games Fest, we basically got announced that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is getting remastered for Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
I cannot wait for that. I've played 1, 2, and 3. I think there's a
Yeah.
3.
I'm just
Yes,
I,
yes, there is.
it's been
have
yeah.
played a lot of them.
Yeah.
And Harry's the reason why I got into them,
As in,
as most things.
like, I played the first one, as in, like, Pro Skater, then I played 2, 3, 4, Underground, Underground 2, American Wasteland, and Project 8.
I haven't heard of Project what?
Project 8.
Never heard of it, to be fair. It's definitely something I might look at. Is it any
8.
good?
Don't.
Oh,
That
it's that bad.
was... Okay, so we got American Wasteland, Underground 2.
Yeah.
I would say around the same kind of era. They were still focusing on the whole Tony Hawk's and like just building your way up to like stupid stunts and greatness. Like you look back at Pro Skater 1, 2, 3, right? They were just 2 minute time rounds, do as many objectives as you can, try to complete all the objectives over multiple tries, which I enjoyed. Then we got Pro Skater 4, which was similar,
Yeah.
but they made it a bit more open world and you could choose the missions you were doing. You would go up to people, you'd talk to them, and then you'd start your mission. And then
This is where skate come in.
this format stayed for Underground, Underground 2, and American Wasteland. But with Project 8, there was no 2 minute timer. There was very little choice for where to go and what to do. The
Okay, yeah.
actual storyline itself was short, and rather than having like, I guess you could say, like actual skill-based challenges, it was just you could complete every challenge by doing an easy mode on it.
Yeah.
There was 3
Oh.
difficulties for the challenge, and depending on how you scored during the challenge, depends on what rank you got essentially.
Right.
And all that you were doing was essentially the game's plotline was, okay, Tony Hawk himself is looking for 8 up and coming skateboarders to join his program, essentially,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you have to try and build your way up to be one of those 8. Really not worth it, in my opinion.
Okay.
It was a good game when I played it, but I know looking back at it now, it's not at all what I wanted from Tony Hawk.
No.
So-
Yeah. I think personally for me, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater had a good beginning it's just in recent memory, it's not been great. Especially with I played the newest Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
I
It was a
would
buggy
not have recommended
mess.
that.
Oh no, it was
I did
awful.
I did research into it because I thought, oh, that would be like so much fun to play. You know,
Yeah,
there's another Pro Skater game, and so I didn't just rush into it because I wanted to know about it first.
yeah, of
Because
course, yeah.
they could have just gone, it's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, but psych, it's not actually a Pro Skater game. And so I did research into it, and it had some of the worst reviews I've ever seen.
Yeah. Honestly, I was so disappointed in that.
And
Uh,
then they did Pro Skater HD, which was a massive flop as well.
honestly,
As
took out most
Tyler
of the
has said,
songs.
Pro Skater 5 is a joke, and it quite possibly was. I don't know because I didn't exactly look into it. I didn't even know there was a Pro Skater 5.
Yeah,
But
you're
I'm
still young.
surprised. You're still young. It's alright. I'll protect you from the evils of Pro Skater 5. But still, I'm actually wondering. I One of the not a great Pro Skater game was that if you remember when Activision did all that band stuff. I can't remember that where it was that plastic guitars and all that. I can't
No.
remember the game now. Rock Band. There we go.
Oh yeah.
They were doing all that sort of stuff. So they decided to do something similar for the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and called it uh, Pro Skater Ride. So they literally had
Oh
a
yeah, Tony
little
Hawk's Ride.
yeah. And honestly, that is one of the few things that I bought because I thought, oh, in my young
Yeah,
mind,
in my brain, I thought that sounds so cool.
yeah,
But when you actually think about it, that's gonna be real dodgy.
it was so bad. The controls were awful. What you had
Janky
to
as
do.
fuck.
Honestly, I was so disappointed with it. I don't understand how they did this to the Pro Skater license. Why? But
I'm glad they're going back to their roots. I'll say that.
yeah, agreed.
Um,
I'm
but
curious though.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
be such a critic when it comes to playing it
yeah,
because I have such fond memories,
yep,
especially of 2 and 3. Not so much the first one. I remember bits and bobs of the first one, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. I know
yep,
3's not included, but if you're gonna remaster probably the 2 best games, I would say,
yeah.
because 1 and 2 by far the 2 best. Um, 1, do not remove any content.
No,
Do
they
not
shouldn't.
lock any of this content behind paywalls. And
Yeah,
for the most part, bring in some of the fan favorite stuff from the other games,
I agree. I massively agree.
like the hidden decks from Pro Skater 3. Because I remember searching Pro Skater 3 round and round and round to get every single hidden deck. And I know Pro Skater and Pro Skater 2 didn't
I
have the
remember
hidden decks because
watching
it
you
wasn't
do that, and
supporting
that
on
was
that.
boring. That bored me shitless. I can't believe I fucking sat there watch you doing that.
Completionist mode activated.
Yeah,
And that's one
I
thing that I liked about the Tony Hawk's games is you could progress the game without completing 100% on that level. But you didn't want to progress without completing
Nope.
100% on that level. Because you
Mate.
know, the second that you complete 100% on that level, you are now a little bit better off going into the next stage than you would have been if you had just jumped to it.
I fucking loved it because
Controller
of that.
disconnect.
It was a fun game, but I'm kind of curious. What was
It was
your
quick.
first? Yeah,
It was quick for those that wanted it to be quick, and it was
Yeah.
lengthy for those that wanted to play.
yeah.
Like
That's why I
if you
enjoyed
wanted
it.
to yeah, if you wanted to start at the first level and just then play until you've unlocked the last one, you could do that within a day. Easy.
Yeah, you could.
But if you wanted to get 100% on every single level, you're gonna have to take some time out of your schedule.
we're taking weeks out of. Yeah. It's nice to. For me, it's my
I'm
childhood
sick.
in a nutshell. Oh dear, coronavirus. Oh, sorry. 2 weeks off. But still,
Oh,
we've lost
we just
someone.
lost Sam. Yeah, I think his internet just died.
It's cool.
Um,
Before we might have to end this then. But still, I just want to know what your first memory was of Pro Skater series. Then.
Pro Skater 2 on the PS1, 100%. I remember it as clear as day because of the secret characters, the level design, the competitions. Every third, roughly, level was a competition.
Yep. Agreed.
The secret locations on every single area that you had to do certain things to unlock. Secret tapes, pain in the ass to get to, and just all in all, just the Pro Skater 2 was one of those games that I spent many, many hours on when I was a kid. Just not necessarily like trying to complete it, just enjoying my time.
I personally really enjoyed that aspect of it. For me, it was. I played a ton of Pro Skater 2, especially on the PS2. I know, me on the PlayStation, but still, it was nice. It's nice to suddenly get something from your childhood and go, "Holy shit, they're redoing it!" They better not.
See, that's how
up.
I felt when the 7 remake was coming.
Yeah, and I want this to be good.
This is literally my childhood at the moment because I've had the 7 remake, right? I'm now getting Pro Skater remake. Like, there's only a couple other games that you can throw out of remakes that would then just basically be okay. So 2020 is my childhood.
So
like,
what other games?
If they suddenly announced like Tekken 3 remake, I'm just gonna be like, nah, this is not happening.
Nah, this is like a fucking dream.
SSX Tricky remake, nah, I'm out.
To be fair, when I heard that EA was remastering like some stuff, I was thinking, what could they bring back? Of course, we've got everyone saying it's Mass Effect trilogy, but personally, SSX Tricky would be bloody brilliant to new consoles.
Wouldn't it be great if they're just like, we're bringing back new games, and bringing back old games, and they're just like, psych, Skatefall.
People would still love it, to be fair.
I don't know, everyone would just be like, they had us in the first stuff, not gonna lie.
Basically. I'm still looking forward to Sam, you've rejoined us.
Yes.
Welcome back. But I've asked this to Harry. What was your first memory with the Pro Skater series?
It was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, and it was watching Harry play it, and then him offering me to play with him, and all it was him battling me and beating the shit out of me every time we played.
By any chance, do you play King of the Hill?
Still gonna beat you. I'd still beat you.
I know.
Reece,
I know
I'd probably, I'll be honest, Reece, I'd probably mess you up as well.
Mate, they're having online honestly, once this game comes out, I'm up for it, mate. I remember playing King of the Hill.
No. We don't do King of the Hill. We play horse.
All right, yeah, horse. All right, I'll get you. All right.
King of the Hill.
Right.
Who can skate around the best? Horse. Who can do the best combos? Who can actually skate in the game and do the best stuff?
Right,
and it was never me.
If you're 1v1ing, you either go for trick attack, just a straight score limit based game, whoever has the highest score after a set time, or you play horse. Any other game mode, like even trick attack's a bit because all you got to do is land one trick essentially on a piece of like rail, any part of the environment really.
Yeah.
To change it to your color, and then that person then has to set a higher score on it, which in turn means that if you're literally just comboing around, then you get one thing, which is kind of what Tony Hawk's kind of pushes. It tries to get you to combo, especially when you play like campaign and stuff, because you're like high score, score, pro score, I got probably sick the wrong way around, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know what you mean. To be fair, it's just I will. I can't wait for the online section of it, of course. But we've also got we forgot to mention was that you can build your own park. Of course, they're bringing that
Oh,
back.
mate, I don't mean to be funny, but if you were ever good at that, you're probably an archaeologist now, or
You're not
some sort of
wrong.
like 3D designer somewhere. Because I remember doing it, and I was just like, "Oh, this is so cool." And then you like look at like the Activision made ones, and you just be like, "Mine's shit."
Yeah, it's like but maybe that's a child sort of thing. You think, hello, and then
No,
it's like,
no, I even tried building parks to Skate 3. It just if you can use it, props to you. If you know that's something that you do, some people actually do it as like a part-time thing that they do amongst their
yep.
normal life. I know because there are some people out there that literally just sit there and build skate parks when they're not doing anything else. And it's like, why are you on Skate 3 just building these parks, guy? Like you're not even playing it, you're just building it for the other people to play.
Of course, yeah. Um,
I
but
really hope we
still,
get that like sort of community come back to Pro Skater series
yes, yeah, me too.
because honestly, some of the custom parks they're gonna be
Oh,
dope.
out of this world. Yeah, there will be, and that's one
They
of
gonna
there's
be dope.
loads of
Hmm.
aspects of this game which I can't wait to play. The online part, the people who making the maps, so we can just fuck about on it. The main bulk of the thing itself, going to these
I'm
classic
I'm
locations.
looking forward to revisiting the locations in full 4K remastered with the addition of what the goals are now going to be. Because I remember going and being like six score 75,000, and I was just like, what? I barely
Mate,
hit 25,000 that run. Like, how am I supposed to get
yeah.
75? So like, are we gonna be getting a little bit of a upgrade in that? Like, is it gonna be like six score 125,000? Because
Well,
that's meant to be a challenge. Like when you
yeah,
replay it,
yeah,
the scores, the combos, getting skate, they're all pretty fucking easy once you
yeah. They
understand the
are.
mechanics of the game. So like, are they gonna make it so that like we actually have challenges?
They did say that they are adding more ways to play with not just challenges, but they've also adding stuff from Pro Skater 3, like a few moves from that. They said that they said it made the much more
Hmm?
enjoyable. So which I'm happy for. I think we're all. It's just that comboing after combo that the pro skater is known for.
Yeah, I am. I like just to real quickly close this out. What is probably your fondest memory in the series?
Mate, honestly, I will stand by this, trying to get every single one of the tapes. Oh, so
Which
good.
game? Just like from the series as whole, like just
Oh,
which
right,
game?
right. Just all right. Training Hawks Pro Skater 2 will be my number one pick, of course, because it's just my
Yeah, but like,
childhood in a nutshell.
like when somebody says to you Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or like just the Tony Hawk's franchise, what is like that memory that you feel like, oh, that
All right.
was like super huge in my childhood? Because just for me,
Yeah,
I used to play a lot. I mean a lot of Tony Hawk's Underground 2,
yeah,
and I remember completing it on easy,
yeah.
medium, and going for hard. And like some of the things you had to understand, like how like the right time to revert into manual, into like grabs, just to be able to get certain challenges on the game done. Because the thing about the difficulty was it changed the amount of challenges you had to complete to unlock the next area. And on hard, you had to complete 100% of every challenges in the location before you were able to move on. Some of them easy, because you had the graffiti system. I remember that
Yep.
so well. And I remember one of them was like you had to tag giant billboards. They were probably like the easiest ones to do. And then you had other ones which was just like these huge, like hugely spread out combo missions where for those that never played it, combo essentially is you have to hit every single letter of combo, so COMBO in one line. Line meaning without stopping doing tricks. So when it's spread out and it's like you've got to go from getting the first one onto a rail to a long manual to a airtime hit into a revert back to a manual to a grind, you have to understand all the mechanics that are being at play there. And I remember, I can't remember the name of the location. It was Spain. It was the
Okay.
Spanish place in Pro Skater, no, in Underground 2, and the combo on that gave me trouble for king days. And for me, that's one of the fondest memories because I remember going for it. Like, that is one memory. If someone was like Tony Hawk's, I'm going to be like, nah, I'm not doing that combo.
No, I think the fundamental memory for me was there's a particular point in at the beginning actually. I would always go back to it. I'd complete all the levels, but there's one particular level right at the beginning. I think it's called Foundry.
Pro
I
Skater
just
3,
loved-
yeah.
No, it's actually in 2. It's where
No, Foundry, I'm sure, was Pro Skater.
there was definitely like a lava area. I remember definitely.
That
but
was
maybe...
Pro Skater 3.
You sure?
100%.
Alright,
Foundry was Pro Skater 3.
Okay, I may be wrong about the title then, but hey ho.
Pro Skater 2, the second area was the school. I remember that. What was the first area of Pro Skater 2? Pro Skater 2... Oh, because you had the school and then there was Rio.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Pro Skater 2... Oh, it was the air hanger, of course.
Yes, air hanger. Oh my god.
Yeah, but if you're thinking of Foundry, that's Pro Skater 3.
But still, it's looking at all these old levels. Fuck. Oh well. I still played like.
Yeah,
other
that
games in the
really does.
series.
Just like I did play a lot of Pro Skater and just Tony Hawk's general, and that's how come I know that. But like the fact that I remembered, like the fact that when you said Foundry,
remembered
I
that
was just
specific
like,
thing.
like now you're wrong. Foundry was Pro Skater 3. Trust me.
Trust, but it's just all these amazing memories with the Pro Skaters, the series, and if they don't get it right, then I'm not looking forward to anything they release up in the coming future. Let's be honest.
I reckon alright, I'll be honest with you. I reckon initial release could be disaster, but I reckon providing that they listen to what the fans are saying, and they don't think, oh, but we wanted to do this, then it'll be fine. Like, it may launch disastrously. I don't care. I'm probably still going to play it. Still going to try and get 100% on everything.
Of course,
I reckon that providing that if there are problems with the game, if they listen to their fans, it will be fine.
Yeah. But I think when we were talking about doing that competition horse, I think we'll probably be streaming that because that's going to be fucking hilarious. Because I'm going to get angry at it because you're probably going to win and I'll be like, right, we're not speaking to each other. No, I'm joking, but still, it's going to be a lot of fun just playing that
It's
game.
going to be fun. I reckon if we can get all of us to jump on it and just play like a 5-man, maybe like a 5-man game of horse, everyone streams.
Yep.
So you can just switch between people's perspective. I mean, horse is pretty good if providing they keep it the old way, anyways, because you can see everyone's perspective from that one person's stream. Because when it's not your turn, you have to spectate the other person that's turn it is. So.
Yep. But I'm looking forward to it, especially for the as it is as we go. But I think we're gonna probably end the chat there because it's been nice talking about it. But I'm gonna leave it here.
We weren't expecting it to be this long.
No, we really weren't. We had 3 topics, of which probably the largest one was Apex, because we hadn't mentioned Season 5 yet. But, I mean, for what we have, it's been good.
Yeah, it's been really nice.
I mean, I really hope that we can get more, like, news coming out soon.
Yeah, well, like I said, we've got Dead by Daylight on Tuesday, you said.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to want everyone's opinions on it, for sure.
Oh, I think I definitely am going to watch it, just to see what it is, because I am really now getting really excited for it, going like, oh, what is it? I like speculating.
Yeah. But, I mean, I guess that's that.
Yeah, there's a few things I want to quickly mention.
Okay.
Like I said, we have talked about it again. We are on twitch.tv/SlothTheGamer12 and Deranged Dragon. I know this is cringy as fuck, but I do want to mention that if you did like this video, please click like and subscribe, all that load of shit. It really does help us out. But that's basically been the episode 7 of the Anarky Game podcast. Harry,
Yes.
would you like to say goodbye?
I might as well. Definitely make sure if you are listening to this to tune back in for the next one, because it's gonna be so good.
This is gonna be definitely Dead by Daylight.
There will be a huge talking point.
Dabra.
Yeah, there'll be a huge talking point on Deb by Dubra. Sure.
Oh god.
But we'll 100% have a huge talk. Like, I'm talking like maybe half hour, 45 minutes just to talk about Dead by Daylight and everything. So make sure if you are interested to come back next time.
Because it's going to be an exciting time for Dead by Daylight fans. I've got it right that time. Leave me alone.
Dead by Dubra.
That's the new name. Of course, like I said, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and follow us on Instagram at Anarky Games, on Twitter as well. Thank you for all us for listening. Goodbye.